Hey, what's going on tonight? Thank you guys for getting on the call tonight. Super excited to be here. Let's do a quick audio and video check. Let me know in the chat if you guys hear me and see me. Give me some quick feedback and we shall get started. So we got Tim in the house, Mark, A-Rod, Joe. What's going on, Joe? Sasha, all good. Okay, awesome. So I'm guessing the audio is good and the video is good. Great, great, great. Thank you for the feedback. Awesome, awesome. Um, Great to see you too. So for all you people on here, if you just quickly type in where you're calling in from, I like to start it off like that, get it warmed up in here because sometimes, we got new people always coming on. And I like to say what's up to you guys as well. So all you new guys, if you guys can just type in the chat, if this is your first time joining on live, that'll be great. And then type in where you're from. I'll start shouting out some locations. So we got Canada in the house. Wow, a couple of Canadians in the house. A VIP member, Sasha, awesome. Minnesota, awesome, awesome. California. Type it in, type it in, type it in. Beantown in the house. Where is Beantown? Where is Beantown? I don't even know. Second time, Mr. Tim. Hello from Charleston, South Carolina. We got another Canadian in the house. Canadian, eh? Canadian bacon, eh? Alberta, Canada. First time joining in from Alabama. What's up, Tony? What's up, buddy? Carlos, Florida. Florida now. Great, great, great. So, Long Island, New York. That is awesome. That's actually where my brother lives in Suffolk County there, Long Island. Long Island boy. Boston. Awesome. Couple of Bostons in the house. Cleveland in the house. Phoenix, Arizona, Mr. Russ. David. Fort Myers, Florida. Beantown, Boston. Okay, A-Rod, thank you. Nassau, Suffolk sucks. Okay, Sasha, I don't know why that thing's not going through in the VIP course. So we'll get to Q&A in the later half. I just wanted to cover one topic before we get in the house tonight, before we get into the nitty-gritty. Chicago in the house, California. Hey, what's up, Tony? What's going on? Maya, you want to say hi very quickly to everybody on here?
I don't think you're doing the YouTube live in here. Hi, guys.
Yeah, I'm doing the YouTube live right here tonight. Right in the house. Let's do this. First time Chicago. Awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, so if you haven't yet, please give me a quick thumbs up, a quick like, and then I will get into talking about why and how people float car titles when flipping cars for profit.
Okay.
Quick like if you haven't give the quick like yet. Give a quick like. I'd really appreciate it. She likes to see a lot of likes. So do it for her. Don't do it for me. Do it for her. Give her a bunch of likes.
I thought that you guys were wondering what this is. This is a rice cracker from Japan.
If I let her talk, she can talk all night with you guys, but we don't want to do that. A lot of these people here, they want to talk about car titles.
I know.
So let me talk, all right?
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so why and how people float car titles when flipping cars for profit. Now, before we get started, we got Andre, first time from Arkansas. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so Mike, can you please, you're crackling in my ear and it's kind of distracting. Okay, so before I get into this, it's kind of a taboo subject and a gray subject, okay? And before I get started, I want to say first off that I'm not an attorney, nor am I a professional, and you should take everything that I'm about to say with a grain of salt, okay? Because I'm not a professional, and I'm not responsible for any results that you get from listening to what I'm talking about here and for implementing what I talk about here. You know, you have to do your own research, obviously, okay? And your own due diligence, and then go out in the world and do what you got to do. I'm just talking here and giving you examples of what people do in the industry to get away with flipping cars for profit. You guys understand? If you guys understand, do a quick compliance yes right here in the chat. Just type, I understand, Tony. I get it. Totally clear. I'm not you're not responsible. I'm not responsible for anybody's actions on what I'm about to reveal here. Okay, so thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay, floating the title means you go and you buy a car. A lot of you guys probably know what this is, and some people don't. Little gray, right? Floating title is you say you go look at a car, you find a deal on Craigslist, you go look at the car, and you want to buy the car. It's a deal, right? You're getting, you could probably make $1,500 on the deal if you flipped it. Floating the title means getting the seller to sign the title over to you, but asking them to leave the section where you're supposed to fill your name, right, blank. The date, leave the date blank and the name blank, right? And that just leaves you out of the scenario 100%. And it's a risk that you take, right? It's a chance that you take. It's not a risk. It's a chance that you take in asking them. Some of them will say, yeah, no problem. Some of them will say, no, sign your name here or else it's a shot that you have to take. It's a gamble. Sometimes you'll get away with it. Sometimes you won't. But if you get away with it, you could basically resell the car now straight from that person's name to somebody else without you being in the picture at all. That's what you call floating the title. Okay, a lot of people do this and get away with it. Okay, and the benefit of that is you're not on any records at all. What you could do if you want is write a bill of sale transaction between buyer and seller when you do that. But once you get the title and your name's not on it, you could just keep that for your copy if you want to. And then you write another bill of sale to the person you sell it to and have them sign the title. So they can't, that's, what people like to do. I don't want to say I do it, but people like to do. And so the person who's buying it from you can't reflip it again. You basically lock it in, they sign it. And most times when somebody's buying a car from you, when you retail it like that, when you're asking for a little bit more money, they plan to get it registered, right, and document it. So that's floating the title. And if you do it that way, you can buy and sell many more cars, because you're not getting each one registered under your name, and you're out of the picture. Okay, a lot of states have, say they have some sort of limit. You could buy and sell 5 cars, 7 cars, 8 cars a year. Honestly, they do that because they just want to make like there's a limit. If they said 5 cars is the limit and you do 6 or 7, it's not like the computer's going to decline you registering the car. It's still going to go through. They just put that into place to try to put some sort of glass ceiling in there. All right. At one point, while I was doing business in a certain state, not in the state I'm in right now, I think the legal limit was like 6. And in 1 year, I did like 15 to 20 cars under my name. I got them registered. And I just, I was going to auctions. I was doing this, doing that. And nobody ever said anything. Okay. Nobody ever said anything. So, a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people let fear stop them from doing anything. And that's why it's such a great thing when people get into buying and selling cars and blah, 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 blah. Right? And in some locations, when you switch the title, sometimes you need a notary, right? It gets complicated like that. So that's where, it comes into place where you have to actually get it registered, get it notarized, and then go through that whole process. Sometimes it takes, weeks to get the title. So it all depends. In California, in Hawaii, you can get the car registered in your name the same day, and you can get the new title the same day. And you could go flip it that same day. That's pretty cool, right? Other states like New York, Texas, and some other states, it takes like 10 days to 2 weeks to get the brand new title when you do that. All right? So that's the deal. In Canada, I'm not 100% sure about what they do in Canada as far as, that part, because, my F1 flipping cars course teaches you how to basically get good deals and sell them for a profit. I have a lot of Canadian VIP guys who get around that. I don't know what they're doing, but they get around that and they're flipping a ton of cars. This one guy in Canada, one of my students a few years ago, he went through my course and he did 48 cars his first year in flipping in Canada. And obviously he didn't want to reveal too much of what he was doing. I assume it was some sort of title. What Sasha, if you guys don't have a title there, what are you guys using? Like a registration, or you must have some sort of bill of sale or something. Do you go to the DMV? No, you don't go to the DMV to see your limit. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about the limit. You don't do anything, because in reality, there is no law telling you how many cars you can have or buy for yourself. Look at Jay Leno. The guy has hundreds of cars. He's a car collector. He buys and sells cars all the time, right? So, I mean, there's nothing wrong when, you're a car fanatic. To it, you're a car fanatic. I love cars. I love tinkering. I love working with cars. You're not doing anything illegal. The whole idea is taking a car that needs a little bit of work, maybe a light detail. I used to think when I got started, I used to think that when I flipped a car, I needed a lot. It needed to be a lot of work needed to be done to it in order for me to sell it and make a profit. But that's really not the case. Once I started changing the way I started searching for deals, I started searching for deals that needed less work, and a lot of times, basically a good detail job, cleaning up, and a better ad posting, as negotiating the price down and doing a better ad and raising the price up, as well as making the car look more presentable, will make you at least $1,000 to $1,500 on a flip. That's what you got to do. And another question I got from a guy the other day, the guy's like, he replied to one of my videos. It was like, how much do you need to buy and sell a car for profit? How much do you need to get started in the game? My answer was, if you have $1,000, you can get started, right? But if you have 2,500 to 5,000, you're in a comfortable position to actually get cars that you can make 1,000 or 2,000 profit on per flip, right? So one guy comments and he's like, I have $90,000 cash, Tony. What should I do? Buy and sell a car or buy and flip a home? I mean, that's kind of, to me, that was a stupid question. Like, why are you asking me, right? If you can buy and sell a home and make 20 grand or 30 grand or 40 grand, why don't you just do that, right? It's kind of stupid for me. I mean, the answer was obviously do a flip on a house, because you could take the same exact concepts of what you're doing to cars and putting into real estate. I mean, that's what I do. I do a lot of real estate now, as well as the car stuff. But I started with mopeds. I started with little 50cc scooters or motorcycles. Then I started doing cars. Then I started saving money and investing in other businesses, investing in other enterprises and real estate. So that's that. Why do people do it? Of course, there's benefits. You could be the middleman, stay out of the paperwork, make your profit, head down to the next one, and just keep doing it. And a lot of people do that. And I already told you how people do it. And the other thing is, when you're flipping a car, a lot of people ask, how do you get the seller to give you a title without the name? So this is where, you could talk, you could start weaving in some storytelling when you're buying the car, right? Everything is a negotiation. So some people say, oh, well, I'm buying the car for my sister. I don't know what name she wants to put on the title. She's actually moving to town in about 2 weeks, and I'm just She wanted me to look for a car for her, so I'm buying it really quickly for her. If you don't mind, if you leave the title blank, I mean, they could put the date on it if they really want to put something on it, but leave the name part blank, And I don't know what name is it possible to get the title blank? And then most times they'll give it to you. You could make up any kind of storytelling that you want. And this is what people do, right? This is what people do. And I just wanted to give you an example of what people do. And like Russ says, you got to be likable. You got to be cool. You can't be, acting like you're a dick or you're doing something illegal, because you're really not doing anything illegal here. You're just buying a car, right? And you're just not sure whose name you're going to put it under. It might be your mom's name, or I don't know, whoever you're buying the car for, right? Okay, so that's the deal. That's the deal. That's the dealio. If you guys like some of that content, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you like that. Let's see. I have. So right now, what I'd like to do quickly for you guys is talk about your deals and your Q&A, and we'll do that for the next 10 minutes or so. And call it quits for tonight. All right. So if you guys are liking it so far, give me a quick like. Raining here tonight. I don't know how the weather is by you, but it's a muggy, crappy day over here. What's up, Kyle? Awesome, Jason. Okay, so if you guys want to hit me up with some quick Q&A, we'll talk about some Q&A, negotiation strategies, where to find the deals, best time to find the deals, whatever you want to talk about, we'll talk about you. If you got a specific card that you're doing right now, a flip that you want to consult me on, we can talk about that right now. Just start typing it into the chat here, and I'll take them as they come. So David says, is it a bad idea to just ask directly if they can leave it blank because you plan on to resell? Yeah, I would think that's a bad idea, because people would have their guard up and they probably would not, ask yourself the question. If somebody came up to you and asked you that question, would you do it? Right? Does that make sense? Listen, first timer here, I buy wholesale 3 a week. Selling is my toughest part. Why is selling your toughest part? It's either you're pricing it wrong or you don't have a good deal. The car is not a good deal, right? It's really, if you have a good deal and if you have a good car for sale, it should sell itself. And, by you doing a couple of the tweaks and tricks that I teach you how to do through some of my, my work, you should be able to sell it really easily, especially, if you're doing, if you're selling it on Craigslist, or if you're using video ads or whatever you're doing. Does it raid your insurance if I get the car registered? Does it raise? Does it raise your insurance? No, absolutely not. And you could basically, if you have to put it into your name and get insurance and do all that, get it insured. Insurance company up and say you want to add this car to it, and then after you sell it, tell them you take it off. Tell them you just sold it. I mean, it's not that bad. They won't mind putting a car on and off for you. People do it all the time. Just do it, okay? If they start questioning you later down the line, then get another insurance company, right? Keep that insurance and get another insurance company to give you a quote and insure that one. I mean, your investment's very small when doing this. What are you going to have to lay out, $50 or $100 a month, right? But if you're making $1,500 or $2,000 in one flip, isn't that worth it? Is it legal to sell a car for someone with the license in a different state, never actually owning the car, filling it into your own name? I mean, if you have the rights to sell it, why would it be illegal? I don't see anything wrong with that scenario. If the car is not stolen and somebody has the title and it's up to date, I mean, what's the big deal? I don't see anything wrong with selling it, even if it's not in your name, as long as you have the authority to sell it, right? So if you're selling it for somebody and they're saying, yeah, they're not going to rat on you and tell you that you stole the car or something, which you didn't, right? So there's nothing, I don't see anything wrong with that. What car should one avoid? Models and makes. This all depends on your market. I like to deal with Asian cars and European. That's me because I like European and also because Asian cars, I feel, in the eyes of the general mass population, feel that they are more reliable than American cars. But hey, that's my opinion, right? In your local market, you could be up in the Colorado Rockies for all I know. Toyota Tundras or Dodge Rams or Chevy trucks may be the hot thing there. So if trucks sell in your local area and you have a little market for it, a niche market for it, then that's what you start looking around for and flipping. Trucks. Get into the truck market. What's up, Jake? Is it still practical to start with mopeds for somebody who does not have the capital? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you could get started in the motorcycle and moped game and start up that way. I mean, it's there for the taking. It's like, it's basics, it's the basic of economics. You buy low, sell high. But I like to sell at a deal, at a win-win situation, so it sells quick. My dad was the type of guy who flipped on retail. He wanted top dollar for his flips, for his cars. I mean, I remember he had a 54 Chevy. He had it on the market for like 6 months, trying to get $18,000 for it. Never would budge. I'm like, Dad, why don't you just get rid of it? People were offering him 14 grand, 15 grand. He was like, no, no, no. I mean, he had other cars he was driving around that was just sitting around. So he really didn't matter. I guess he really didn't need the money or whatever. But after a while, he had it parked out of his house one day with a for sale sign on it, out of the apartment. He was living in an apartment area on a busy downtown street. So that's why he'd park it in the front and, people would drive by. A lady was walking by and said, "It's my husband's birthday. He's been wanting that car." So she paid him full price for it, $18,000 cash for that 54 Chevy. And he got it. He was the type who always sat it out and waited, an extra month or whatever the deal was to sell the car, but he would get retail for it. And that was him. That's his style. You could do that if you want as well. You could do that. Me, I'm the type of guy where, I like to do the turnaround. Turnaround, I'll make a little bit less on the deal, but the person will be happy. They got a deal. And I get to jump onto the next project. I like to rotate, rotate my inventory, look for new deals, constantly work, constantly hustle. So that was my gig. Let's see. No, it does not. It does not raise your insurance. It only raises your insurance if you get into an accident. They might charge you more for adding a second vehicle, but if you get it off of the insurance a week later or 2 weeks later, you're going to get prorated back, probably 90% of the money. Okay, so Sasha, here's what you do. You go online and you do your own market research. She says the black book in Canada doesn't work for every car. What do I do? Because I found the deal on Protege, but not sure on it. Thanks in advance. So you basically go online and you type in that make and model of Protege in your area in other parts of Canada, see what they're selling for. Then that'll give you your general price in the market. Find the first 10 or 15 car models like yours. Compare mileage, right? You have to know your market. Compare how many miles, what year is this? They're asking this much. This one is 2005, this much miles. You're asking that much. And then once you gather that data, you're going to say, all right, mine's a 2007. It has lower mileage. That guy's asking 5,200. I should be asking at least 6,000. So then you know where to price your car. All right. I had a Carlos, I had a comment that I bought 2 cars. The Toyota had given me a nightmare with the timing belt, but today we fixed it. Awesome. The BMW just needs a tune-up and is already sold. I made a $2,500 profit. I let go of the fear you talk about. Carlos, congratulations, buddy. Seriously, where do you live? Where are you out of, Carlos? Give me a shout out. I love that. Dude, guys, the proof is in the pudding. Look what Carlos just did. He was on the fence, stuck in fear. He took the advice and he put it into action. He took the advice that I gave him, put it into action, and things happen. And this is how it is with everything, guys. You know that you have to do something to change, but you don't do it, so you can't expect a change. You can't expect something different, right? But if you sometimes you jump outside of your comfort zone, you take the plunge, you do something, you take action on what you're learning, you're going to get results, right? And there's no such thing as failure in my eyes. There's only results, right? Because you could always learn from your failure and never look at it as failure. Look at it as a learning experience, what not to do. Just like Thomas Edison, it took him 10,000 times to perfect the incandescent light bulb, right? And he finally got it. And each time he failed, do you know what he said to himself? It wasn't a failure. He knew one way that it wouldn't work. So he kept on burning this light filament and it kept on burning up instantly. So he thought about, coal and how coal was burning. That if you take out a lot of the air, the coal will just burn for hours and hours and hours. So he decided to take that filament from the light bulb and put it into a glass tube and suck all the air out of it to take the air out. And then he shot electricity through it and the filament started to glow, and it glowed for minutes and then it burnt out. But that was how he got his idea of how if you suck all of the air out of that bulb with the filament, it won't just burn up, because it was burning up because there was air all around it. So that's what happened there. So guys, that's what I want to leave you with tonight is start thinking outside the box, start taking action, and believe in yourself and just do it. Get off the fence and just do it. All right. So I gotta go. But I hope you enjoyed the call tonight. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't yet, and I will see you on next week. We'll get to more. More questions next week. Carlos said finding motivated sellers is a big plus in this game, so I've learned. Awesome. Thank you, everybody. Guys, I want to say thank you for getting on. These YouTube lives are usually a half hour. Last time I was on a little longer, but I need to run. I got a couple of things I got to do with my daughter tonight before I tuck her in. So I just wanted to say thank you. If you guys are just getting on, hit the rewind the video, refresh it, and watch it. We will be back on next week, same time. Thank you so much for getting on. If this is your first time getting on, you can go to howtobuyandsellyyourcars.com right here and get your free report on how to flip cars for profit. Check it out, and let's take things to the next level. All right, have a great day. And again, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2017. The year is still fresh. I bought my wife and myself a treadmill for 2017. We're going to start running a little bit more and getting healthy. Not that I'm not healthy, I am healthy, but I just wanted to get in more cardio work, and we've been running so far. We just got the treadmill like a week ago, and we already did 5 runs on it, trying to do a run every day, a 20-minute run for now, and then we're going to increase it to 30 minutes and try to get at least 5 runs in a week of a 30-minute just for cardio. And I feel better already, actually, just doing a couple of runs like that and taking care of yourself, So health is number one, guys, because without your health, you can't do any of this. You can't make money. So thank you guys so much. Lily Jackson, thank you so much for getting on. Hit the thumbs up, guys, before you head out. And please get on early next week, and I will tackle your questions next week on the live show, 8 p.m. Central, Tuesday night. Have a great night. Thank you so much, and ciao. You can grab that free book at that URL right there. Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys coming on. Bye-bye.